Now, George,
BBC.
and Keir Starmer is getting all excited about that time Jim fixed it for him to sit in the cockpit.
Yeah, so public spending is not the only lever Labour can pull, says Starmer. So essentially, if and when they come into power, he's basically saying our finances are all messed up.
Yeah.
But money is not the only way that they can make improvements, and one of them is to make sure that we get good value for money out of our institutions and whatnot, and that makes total sense.
Is that not always what I mean, I understand that the choice with this, what they always say, isn't it? When they're coming in, there'll be productivity.
I think that he said, but this is the first time Labour's sort of really focusing on that element of things. Labour normally will come and say, bring us in, we're going to spend this much more on the NHS, this much more on education. And those things are needed in terms of inflation and the increase of population and whatnot. It's not they don't need more money, but he's also being honest and saying, we're not going to just magically have all of this money. Yeah. And so we also need to make sure that we improve these organisations, which arguably could do with some improvement.
They certainly could, and I think it's embarrassing for the Tories that Labour is plausibly saying we're going to come in and one thing we're going to do is overhaul the planning laws, which will improve the efficiency and the productivity of the country. Well, that is something that should be...
That should have been done 13 years ago.
Exactly, yeah. Nick.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because he was praising Thatcher the other day. Now he's saying growth is everything. Now he sounds like Liz Truss now. Yeah. He's moved on to the Thatcher imitators. And, I mean, he's trying to be all things to all people, but it's quite strange for Labour to be talking about austerity and being against spending. But isn't he just priming people for the realistic factor that we don't have money in the country is struggling?
But I think that's an admirable quality.
Yeah, I mean, we have huge debt, and the interest rates on it have gone up, and that is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, but he can say anything at this point, can't he, Starmer? And you seem to even like some. I'm kind of surprised though, because he's not going to do any policies you like or want.
Well, I think let's just get him in and let's see.
I think, to be honest, even if you're... and I am probably, in my heart of hearts, there are certain kinds of Tory government that I don't particularly like this one, but broadly speaking, I would probably be a natural Tory voter. I think they desperately need a period in opposition to sort themselves out.
Yeah, it's just that Labour are going to be so bad that it's just going to get... But it's all right, because then Farage comes in 2029.
But I remember that before Tony Blair came in, and everyone said Labour was going to be so bad and people...
And it was awful, destroyed the country.
No, it wasn't. We had a golden era.
It got better. I'm sure you remember the tune, Nick.